Happy Friday night, people. It is time for me to do my reviews of the comics that came out on Halloween. It was kind of a light week, and I'm going to save one for later because I really enjoyed the hell out of that comic, and it's one that I want to do individually. So let's get this started and give you my reviews. X-Men Extermination number 4. This started out pretty good, and I think it's still pretty good, but it didn't start out as good. It's not as good as it started out. It's still interesting, but I don't know. It's kind of jumbled, but it did leave off with a really, really good cliffhanger. So I'm going to give this a 3.0. X-Men Black number 1, Emma Frost. I like this one. Emma Frost has never been one of my favorite characters, but I liked her in this one because it shows that she's devious, shows that she plays a long game, and you aren't sure what her motivations are, even when you find out that her initial motivations weren't what you thought they were, if that makes any sense. But Williams did a really good job with this story, and I like it. I'm going to give it a 3.25. Ex-Wives. I don't know. I think there's a little too much exposition in this thing. They're trying to cram too much history into one issue. I know this sounds a little weird. Sometimes I complain whether they try and stretch stuff out into too many issues. And now I'm saying they put too much into one. But they could have gotten some of this information in flashbacks or in other things. But I think it's worth a second issue. Worth checking out the second issue. It is basically, it's a story about some witches. These are not the the Wicca type. These are the bad witches, or at least told from the story of the person telling the story, who have lived for centuries. They're always together, and one of them dies, the other one dies, and then they get reincarnated, and it's moved up into modern day. And there's also people who are hunting them, who are trying to keep the balance. So I'm going to give this a 3.25. Wonder Woman, or Justice League Dark, and Wonder Woman: The Witching Hour, Part 1. The end. It was a good miniseries. It's just, and like I said just earlier, I think they tried to cram too much stuff into this. Because I guess they wanted to make a lot of changes in this after the Batman Who Laughs, the Dark Universe stuff, and the falling of the wall from the Dark Universe, and but it was I like that they're doing this, and they're setting up some interesting ramifications for farther on down the road. It was worth it. It was worth reading. So I'm going to give it a 3.5. Batman: The Secret Files #1. This is basically just a bunch of shorts. So maybe about 4 or 5 different stories that happen really quick and just bing, bing, bing. Things that have happened in Batman's career. These all seem fairly recent. And so, but things we have never seen that are just nice to see, but they really, I don't think are going to affect continuity all that much. It's just things from before. So I'm going to give this a 3.75. Heroes in Crisis #2 of 9. Boy, this is getting really good. I loved the first one, and I'm really kind of digging Harley in this one. She's kind of a badass in this one, and I love this cover. I like this cover better than I liked the other. I think this is the variant. I think this is the B cover. But it moves the story along some, but not too much. And you get to see some of the insights of some of the other superheroes, Batman, Wonder Woman, Poison Ivy, superhero, but making their booth confessionals. And get to see some of their thoughts. And the mystery of who committed the slaughter is still ongoing. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. And my last, Owen Parrish #4. Let's see, 4 on that. And boy, the stakes. This is Cullen Bunn, and the stakes for this are ratcheting up, ratcheting up, ratcheting up. And this is typical Cullen Bunn. He is making the story interesting. He's moving along without cramming too much into it or without revealing too much. And it is really getting interesting, and I love this series. This is one of my favorite series so far this year. If you aren't getting it, go and get all of them. Start with #1 and read them all. It is, for those of you who don't know, about a family of drug dealers who have found a new type of drug that is made out of human bones, crushed up human bones, and when you take it, you get to experience parts of their lives, and it's really addictive, and you also have some of the cartels wanting to move in on them and buy them out, but they don't want to, and that's where the conflict comes in. So I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. And that's it for this week. I am going to save Witches for a little later, because I want to do that separately. The Witches Bad Egg, or Bad Eggs. And I will probably do that tomorrow. I've got some things I want to finish tonight. And so let me know what you thought of what I got, if you liked what I liked as much as I did, or if you agree with me not liking some of these. And like and subscribe. Talk to you later.